He's like a whale with cleats on, son. Cormani McClain has a chance to double up on the decent season that he's actually having so far at Florida. Make sure that y'all remember that Cormani McClain was technically a walk-on, and from there he's been able to, after sadly a Jason Marshall Jr. injury, is now #1 in the depth charts at Florida, and that has presented him with a bit of opportunity on a Florida team that doesn't really have much to lose. So he can kind of play out there, play free, and do some things. And going against a Texas team with a quarterback in Quinn Ewers who likes to put the ball in precarious situations, this athletic freak might have a chance to make something happen. So today we are going to predict Florida versus Texas, and I think that's going to be a stomping. So I don't really, think that's much of a story, but I think the story is the future of the Florida Gators and where Cormani McClain lines, where DJ Lagway lines up. How does this team line up, and how does their future roll out through the eyes of Cormani McClain, who, after already having a pick six, having a last game with 4 solo tackles at the quarterback position against the #2 team in the nation, I think it's a decent start from a shunned cornerback who is known as a bit of a lazy guy. So today we're going to take a look at that matchup. We're going to take a look at Cormani McClain. We're going to see where his opportunities lie, where Florida's opportunities lie, and how Texas is probably going, God dang, run them out of time. But if you enjoy college football content, if you enjoyed this video, please like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all that fun stuff. Let's hop right into it. So first things first, like I talked about, just giving you some context. Last video, we talked about Cormani McClain. I talked to you about the context of Cormani McClain. I have to assume at this point you know who the Lakeland 5-star, ex-Colorado, I don't play for clicks whole situation is. Young guy who made some decisions that probably not a lot of people agreed with. But it seems that by all accounts and by his head coach accounts that he's been growing into a decent football player. The walk-on is #1 in the depth chart. Is if we can go ahead and take a peek at the Florida depth chart here. As you can see, Cormani McClain right here, boom, #1 in the depth chart out of Lakeland, Florida. So he's not only just a guy that's going to get playtime and get burned, he is the #1 cornerback. So he's going to have some opportunity there. So that's super cool. Not very cool for all the injuries, though, that Florida seems to be dealing with. And it seems to be a lot. Now, luckily for them, DJ Lagway is already practicing. Billy Napier says that it's been great for DJ to be able to practice. He's had live updates. So it's supposedly a serious hamstring injury. I'm not sure if that means he's going to play, but it's very, very good and promising for the Florida team that at least the outlook is looking like that. So to take a peek deeper at the actual injury report, because I got it pulled up here, let's pop it up. Considered out. Lagway is apparently questionable. Montrell Johnson's questionable. Elijah Badger is also questionable. A lot of questionables for Florida, and for Texas, of course, we got a lot of outs from people with season-ending injuries. Vernon Burgo out for the first half. Mbuka, who's still limping around. Carlton Vasek still limping around, and Isaiah Bond seems like he's going to be on full burn coming against Florida, which is not good news for Cormani McClain in Florida, because that dude can burn and he can fly, and he's a big bad dog. But just a reminder of how we got here, like I said. But now to take a look at the actual matchup itself, Florida's going to have to do a lot, and they're going to have to do a lot often. They're going to have to, like I talked about, they're going to have to force Texas to get into the turnover situations in which Cormani McClain or that others, decently, always pretty talented secondary from Florida and what they can do. But looking straight up, people don't really got Florida being able to do anything. Now, again, this was a team that kind of gave it to Georgia for a second there. Really gave Georgia some problems, gave them some issues there. And then watching that game, they do have a lot of mass, right? They got that big 400-pound dread-headed go out there, goddamn moving bodies in there. He's huge. He's like a whale. He's like a whale with cleats on, son. I don't know how anyone's going to deal with that. We're going to get deeper into the stats there. And then Mr. Helm is going crazy for us when it comes to the receiving side. I think that's going to give Florida one of their biggest issues. Helm and Isaiah Bond, I think it's going to have some problems. I think finding ways to set the edge for Florida is also going to be an issue. They have a lot of interior beef, but when it gets to explosiveness on the edge, I'm not really sure if they're going to be able to keep up with it. We saw Florida exploit that last game, and I think that's the only reason why they won. They had a few explosive plays. One of them came because Cormani, you know what I'm saying? It was, and we talked about that play in that other video. One of them, you know what I mean? He got burnt a little bit. He got sliced up a little bit. And that just shows that if you take deep shots against Florida and take explosive plays, I don't think that they can really keep up. And the fact that Texas is one of those offenses who sadly struggles with having a sustained offense, and we just score off of big explosive plays, I think it's going to be interesting to see that matchup. So going deeper into these stats and what I mean, First things first, I keep talking about Cormani McClain. I'm not just talking about Cormani McClain and talking about him. By the way, he got a new NIL deal, so he's already raking in the money for Florida. We're going to talk about that after we talk about the stats, but that boy already getting NIL deals. We'll talk about that. But the reason why I say this is a prime time for Cormani McClain to make a nation, I mean, Texas, our offense, this is, by the way, offense is number 106 in giveaways in the nation. Bottom tier of the league when it comes to that. Now, good turnover margin because our defense is god dang stingy. Our defense takes the ball away. Our defense gets in there and gets after it in ways that you've never seen. Number 7 when it comes to interception throwing. You better watch out if it's a lag way. If it's I think Martin's out for this. If it's a lag way, if it's that little son of a gun, that true freshman who was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, okay? It's not his fault, all right? But we're trying to snatch some balls. Pardon me, okay? But this takeaway problem and these interceptions thrown is going to give Cormani McClain someone who's very ball skill heavy, who's someone who's very naturally talented. A lot of y'all in my comments, and we're going to get into that too. We're talking about how Cormani McClain is just a talent, and I think sometimes all you need is just talent. So from the offensive side, I mean, just top ranked in everything except for fourth down conversions and red zone conversions, which I don't like to see. Defense, I mean, top ranked in everything except fourth down conversion. Interesting. Anyway, so we're a bit of a wagon. Rushing statistics, though, we don't rush it as much. We're decent when it comes to rushing the ball. Really explosive and high completion when it comes to throwing the ball. I think our offense needs to give our defense a little bit more quality there. Now, coming into Florida and looking at what they've got from the offensive statistics side, it's not looking great. It's not looking the most phenomenal. The defense is a little bit more middle of the pack. And the offense looks to be a little bit more lagging behind. Rushing offense is decent. Rushing defense is horrendous. But passing defense seems to be more interceptions thrown. Number 13 when it comes to interceptions thrown. And then when we go to the turnover statistics, they're about middle of the pack there. So I'm telling you, if it's not Cormani McClain, I think this is a defensive back that can get takeaways. Now, they can get hurt deep, too. I think they can really get hurt deep, but I think the takeaways and ability is going to be able to take them to new ways. So before we get into your comments about Cormani McClain, because y'all had lots and lots
buy your
to
house.
say about,
I can pay you.
Firehouse. Y'all had a few things to say about Cormani McClain, and so we're going to get into that and actually reply to y'all's comments and see how y'all feeling. Before that, Cormani got a little deal going, dog. He got himself a little. He got himself a little deal, yeah, man. So we gonna pop out here, check out and see what what I mean. We gonna see where. Apparently, it's for this company. It's called I think Green Glove or something like that. Super Glove. The glove is always greener on the other side. And when we take a peek at it, it's basically they're matching up creators with new up and coming what they call them, new up and coming athletes. So I think it's an interesting little adventure there. But I think most importantly, the fact that he's getting enough recognition to get NIL deals is cool. So super excited to announce my partnership with Green Sleeve Inc. We're building a platform to help athletes with freelance content. So pop over here. They got about 99 followers. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, this is him popping up. Okay. Yeah. I don't know exactly. I guess they're just filming him around. So this is something new. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he gets some ownership in this. This is very early on. They're doing a little shorts thing, but it's dope to see him. You know, this is a more future type thing. So hopefully this can be positive for him. I know a lot of people are gonna make a lot of jokes about him getting an NIL deal with something that doesn't seem to have as much motion, but they'll get there eventually. You know what I mean? So I think that's just a positive, beautiful thing. And then oh yeah, they got all yeah. Look at this. Oh yeah, no, this is super cool. They're already linked up with a bunch of people, a lot of agencies. So you know what I'm saying? Not a bad little place to get. Florida, yeah. Hey, there you go. Florida quarterback Cormani McClain, the newest and great. So that's good to see for Cormani. I like that. I'm not just gonna be all ho hum and negative about it. But let's read y'all's comments how y'all felt. This is me talking about how I felt that Cormani McClain did pretty well. Especially when you look at the comments of the people against that Florida team, going against the number 1 team, or not number 1 team, number 2 team in the nation. I think it's going to take a lot out of you to really be effective and efficient. And I think Cormani McClain did that. Y'all felt like I was coming from a different perspective. So let's check about it. This was a 5-star recruit, one of the best defensive backs in the country, and he hasn't been playing like it. He too dang talented to be playing like trash. I don't think he's playing like trash. I don't think he's playing like trash. I honestly think he's growing in the offense. And just like we talked about, Billy Napier even said that, hey, he's taking that next step in the offense. He didn't get exposed. He playing the SEC. He's dang near the NFL. Hey, man, I agree, man. That's what I said in the video, man. I think he did a pretty good job. Anything to have a downfall yet? I never said he had a downfall, man. I'm a CU fan, but we have to understand this is still a kid. He doesn't know Deion. All he knows is that people close to him. There was a lot of negative press on Colorado last year. He was going through some growing pains after a lack of better term. Sometimes a woman who thinks she'll have to walk into a room full of beautiful people. All right, we're getting into. All right, man. I don't know what we're talking about. He was playing against more talent than Travis Hunter ever seen in just 2 games. That's a crazy comment. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that he's playing more talent just by playing Travis Hunter alone? I think that's, just by playing Georgia alone. I don't know, man. I don't know, dog. Look, to give my full prediction of Florida, Georgia, I think Texas, Florida. I think Texas. We're gonna beat about a cool 3 touchdowns. I think it's gonna get up to like 30-something. Yeah, saying with 30, what's that? 28. I think we're gonna score by 5 touchdowns. What's that is? That's 35. 35, and I think they're gonna score 35-14. Put that thing right up there, hook 'em horns. That's gonna have it happen. Write me up for a Cormani McClain interception too, or at least a pass breakup, and at least two tackles, because he seems like he want to be physical. You know what I mean? When we look at Cormani McClain's stats, can we do that? Can we look at Cormani McClain's stats? Why don't I have Cormani McClain's stats pulled up, yo? Cormani McClain. Look now, he's like I said, he's already got the stats now. He's already got a few stats now. You know what I mean? 3 solo tackles and an assist. So let's see him get after. Let's see him do it. But them dang Longhorns is gonna roll. I'll see you guys. Y'all be easy. Y'all be breezy. Like this video if you like it. Comment down below who you got. You got Florida or Georgia. Florida or Texas. Why do I keep saying Georgia? Who and how bad is Texas gonna be? Florida? Do you have Cormani McClain making an impact at all? Let me know, man.